is 25 years to the day since my next guest took to the airwaves with a Bertie Ahern impression and a dream. Over 100 voices later, that dream has come that dream has come true as he's about to become the first Irish comedian to solo headline the Three Arena. He's here along with Roy Keane, Tommy Tiernan and me to tell us all about it. Would you please welcome Mario Rosenstock?
Well, you're very welcome to the show. I'm absolutely delighted to be here tonight. Or am I? Or am I? You can never tell from my voice. That might just be me being sarcastic. Am I joking? Maybe I am. Or am I being deadly serious? Maybe I am. But one thing's for certain, folks. I'm doing a Nordy accent, which means I'm guaranteed to be a guest on the Late Late Show today!
I have never been more deeply insulted or highly honoured in my entire life.
Done. You're done.
I'm done. I've joined your Late Late Show host Hall of Fame.
Yeah, if you do this job, I suppose you have to do every Late Late Show host. You have to do every Taoiseach. You have to do every Irish football manager. And I've done, I suppose, now that I've done you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Your voice, that is.
Yes.
Every Late Late Show host. There is one Late Late Show host, of course, I haven't done recently, and that's, of course, the elephant in the room. That's, of course, the elephant in the room because I was never able to do it to his face. But now, of course, I can do it for all of you. And, of course, well done. That's who I mean. Thank you very much. You thought I meant somebody else, didn't you? That was me doing an old broadcasting trick, don't you know? Send you one way and then come back the other. Well done to you, Mr. Kielty. You came up from down or down from up, who knows? And you played lovely G-A-A, didn't he, ladies and gentlemen? And he won a little Medellin for himself. Only problem was he didn't win the Medellin because he wasn't on the team. He was sitting on the bench while all the other teams were hoofing and poofing the ball over the bar, don't you know? And there he was, reading his dandy, reading his Bedo, no medal. Well done to you. But listen, I'm not patronising you. Patronising means to talk down to somebody, by the way. Thank you, Paddy Kielty. Well done. A little brush stroke from the master.
From the master. And I mean, obviously, it's not just late chat show hosts that are in the Hall of Fame. For you, I know you're very fond of another man who's on another night.
That's right, a competitor of yours. And again, I have to do every presenter and, you know, I'd fucking love to do. I'd love. Do you know the way he goes, he starts and then it doesn't happen. And then he sort of goes there and then I'd love to do a presenter of where I'm interviewing you and you're sitting there waiting for my first question to end after 4.5 fucking hours. And I'm sitting there like a Connemara fucking Buddha. And then after 4 hours, I subject you to a Kazakhstani ukulele band until they bring out the fucking oxygen tank. Paddy Kielty. That was one comedian to another.
There you go. That was well played there. This is the very day. 25 years on from when you started with a Bertie impression and a dream. It's well, what was that like back then?
Well, first of all, it was 25 years ago. You're right. It was, I believe, this day 25 years ago.
Yeah.
The first gift went out on Tuesday, May 3rd, 1999. 25 years ago. Think back. No YouTube, no Facebook, no TikTok, no Instagram, no Twitter. None of that stuff. And remember, the star of Gift Grub at the time was a famous Taoiseach called Bertie Ahern. And Bertie Ahern, when Gift Grub started, was 46 years of age. 46. And I remember at the time, Patrick, down south here, at 46, you were still too young to have a bank account. See, we were all operating out of Trocra boxes. So Bertie was 46. If you look back, Leo Varadkar was 18. That made them laugh.
Yeah.
Leo Varadkar was 18 and Simon Harris was 12. And amazingly, 25 years later, he still is. So, yeah, Gift Grub started in 1999, and it started as the idea that Tony Blair was very big in England, and it was kind of a cool Taoiseach, and Bertie liked his Bass and his GAA and his Man United and Jesus, and he used to say, in fact, and Spannerheads and all this, and he'd be on with Ian Dempsey, next door to Ian Dempsey, the great Ian, and cooking a fry next to Ian, and it would only be 3 minutes long or so, but 3 minutes wasn't enough, we realised, for Bertie to finish one sentence, because he would sort of end up going, the fact of the matter is, and the reality of the situation is, and people thought the radio was skipping. And before you knew it, the sketch was over, and Bertie hadn't even... And this was an amazing skill he had. An amazing skill he had to endlessly not answer a question. I remember seeing him on with Miriam O'Callaghan do... And it sounded like a JCB jackhammer. And he does this for an hour and she goes, OK, that's all we have time for. Join us tomorrow night at Prime Time. Good night, thanks. And the same with the great Dobbo, 6-1. Dobbo brought the guy to tears. Jesus, Dobbo, you have me now. Thanks, that's it. Good night. And, so it was Bertie, yeah.
You've seen a few come and go since then. Obviously, there's a new Taoiseach in town.
Yes, a new Taoiseach in town. And as I said, you have to be able to do, or try to do, or attempt to do all the Taoiseach as they come along. So after Bertie, there was Brian Cowan, and I couldn't do him. So I was kind of how do I do Brian Cowan? And I was practicing him, and I rarely practice an impression. And I had a dictaphone at the time, and I went out, couldn't do him, went out to the Spar. I got a chicken tikka sandwich. I stuffed my face, I came back in, and I started doing Brian Cowan with my mouth full of a chicken tikka sandwich. And suddenly, it happened. I said into the thing, well, obviously I'm going forward. That sounds good. I'm going forward. Well, obviously I'm going forward. Because Cowan used to say going forward all the time. How ironic, because all we were doing at the time was going backwards. But Cowan kept saying going forward, going forward. He then went away, and then the next guy came along. Good evening, Andy Kenny here, boom, boom. And Andy Kenny came along, and he had a bunch of stupid anecdotes about, I once met a man with 5 pints in each hand, on his way to a Bruce Springsteen gig, playing air guitar, something, something, something. Muhammad Ali, JFK, blown away. What more is there left to say? We didn't start the fire. Then who was there? Then there was, there was Leo Varadkar. It was kind of came full circle, because he was like a posh Bertie Ahern. Or was Bertie Ahern like a working class Leo Varadkar? I don't really know. But anyway, I saw myself on TV last week. I was absolutely brilliant, because for the first time it looked like I actually don't give a bollocks anymore. I'm not surprised. I didn't come in with my T-shirt off, my top off, just singing Spinning Around by Kylie. And now we have Simon Harris. And Simon Harris, to me, so when I'm studying him, Simon Harris, his voice is a bit squeaky, and it sounds like he swallowed a Michael D. Higgins. That wasn't innuendo. When I talked to the producers outside, my original line was, it sounds like there's a bit of Michael D in him. And they said, don't say that. And I said, are you sure you want me to go with he swallowed a Michael D? So anyway, he sounds to me like his voice swallowed a Michael D.
Because Michael D is, of course, very languid. And he's very slow and considered and creative. And you are a great artist, Patrick Kielty. And you have brought communities together. From Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland and Western Ireland and Eastern Ireland. And Athlone in the whole of Ireland. And you love the whole. We all love the whole of Ireland. And you have done it. But he is very slow. He is slow and considered, and he doesn't move his neck. When he wants to hear somebody talk, he goes like this. It is a stuntman he is, not a human being. Stop! And so Simon Harris, yes, Simon Harris sounds like a speeded up version of, it's like as if you've put Michael D into YouTube and you press multiply by 3. And Simon Harris is like that. And Simon Harris is we're going to be rolling out a number of policies. We're going to be rolling out a number of policies. We're going to be taking back Ireland. We're going to be taking back health. We're going to be taking back housing. We're going to take back the country. 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 And we're going to put it all on fucking TikTok.
Take a drink, Dan. Take a drink. I mean, is there anybody? I'm assuming you've done all of these in front of quite a few of these people. Is there anybody that you would back off from if you met them?
Well, Flatley. If I had to place. If you were Flatley.
Yes.
And you were there facing me in your leather pants.
Yes.
And your eyeliner and baby oil all over your chest, staring at me like this, I'd be shaking and he'd be going, by Jesus, soft day, thank God. Begorra, it might be 30 years since Riverdance, but that won't stop me taking out my flute and giving you one hell of a hiding. Canary on board that. Van Milshawn Aaron Fwinog.
And
Agus tá Malia Rodi ag chat galéir. And Roy.
I know, of course, you wouldn't cross Roy.
Roy. I did cross Roy, and Roy, of course, was extraordinary because I met Roy one-on-one. Ian was in the room as well. I met Roy one-on-one. It was the first time and I met him. It was just us in the room. He meets you. It's extraordinary because he walks towards you. This was peak Roy Keane. He puts out his hand like this. And have you ever seen Jurassic Park? Do you know the creatures that jump up on the thing? Those guys, they're called velociraptors. Roy Keane put out his hand and it was the claw of a velociraptor. And he stared at me intently and he had these penetrating green eyes. And he looked at me. And it wasn't the eyes of somebody meeting you. It was the eyes of somebody deciding how they will eat you. It was like, Petrified, I sit down. And I realise then I'm going to attempt to be Roy Keane in front of Roy Keane. I'm going to ask Roy Keane to buy into the idea that I'm Roy Keane. And that's particularly difficult when you consider the person I'm asking to do that. It's fucking Roy Keane. So I go, I had my notes and everything. I went, Oh, well, all credit to fame, but obviously people say I talk like you at the end of the day. And he just looked at me and went, nah. Nah, you don't. And I said, well, obviously people think I laugh like you at the end of the day. Nah, I don't laugh like that. And I went, well, obviously some people think you do at the end of the day. He said, okay, make me laugh. The scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. Roy Keane asking me to make him laugh. So I blurted out something like, the FAI is a monument to professionalism at the end of the day. Keane waited for a second, then I went, and I went, and he went, and we were both friends.
Very good. Very good. I know you'd like to sign off for us tonight.
Yeah, I love this car. I love. Anybody know Davy Fitzgerald? I love Davy Fitz, but the only way I can do him is with a special mic, for reasons you will soon hear. And the only other thing, Patrick, is you have to ask me a question, any question, because if you don't ask me a question, Davy can't refuse to answer it.
Okay. How are you keeping, Davy?
No. You won't be drawing me on that, Kielty. No way. No, I didn't ask you in there how you were. You don't need to be asking me that now. You call yourself a fucking goalkeeper, do you? You're not a goalkeeper. I'm a real goalkeeper. I was a real goalkeeper, Kielty. I faced real men with fucking sticks. They were coming at me left, right and centre with sticks. What did you do? Sit in your hole on a bench, Kielty. I tell you, I take you out the back and give you your head for fucking leather, Kielty. There you go.
Done.
Scrub live show to the 3 Arena on Friday, the 20th of March, 2025. Go fetch tickets. They are on sale today. Ticketmaster.ie. Okay.